This thing blows my mind. I was talking to a senior HR manager last, maybe some 3 weeks ago. 22 years of experience, MBA, multiple certification, running talent acquisition for a big company. And she told me something that made me pause. She said, Coach Richard, I made over $100,000 a year in corporate. But in the last 3 months, I made almost 3/4 of my annual salary from my side consulting. I'm talking about more than 3/4 in less than 3 months. And here's the crazy part. She's using the exact same skills she uses in her 9 to 5, same expertise, same frameworks, same knowledge. But this thing called the internet values it differently. And what I'm about to show you in this video is going to completely change how you think about your corporate skills. Because the truth is this, you're probably sitting on a gold mine and you don't even know it. So I want you to hold on. I want to stick with it because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly which skills the internet pays premium prices for and how you can start monetizing them without, of course, quitting your job, without building a massive audience, without spending years creating content, dancing on TikTok, and all this. So let's go. Before we get into the specific skill, I need to tell you something that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. It is the something that made me uncomfortable when I first discovered it in 2020. You see, most corporate professionals think their value is tied to their job title. So you are an HR director or a marketing manager or a finance controller. And as long as you have that title, you feel valuable. But here's what nobody tells you. Your job title is exactly capping your value because in corporate, you get paid based on the position in your hierarchy. But online you get paid based on the problem you solve. And here's where it gets interesting. The problems you solve in your corporate role, those same problems exist everywhere. Think about it. If you're an HR and you know how to reduce employee turnover, that's not valuable to your own company. That's valuable to thousands of companies. If you're in finance and you know how to optimize cash flow, that skill isn't locked to your employer. Small business owners are desperate for that knowledge. So if you're in operations and you can streamline processes, guess what? Every entrepreneur who is scaling needs exactly what you know. But now here's the thing. You've been trained to think of your skill as belonging to your employer. So you clock in, you use your expertise, then you clock out. And the internet sees what you have and it's willing to pay 3 times, 5 times, sometimes 10 times what your corporate salary is for the same expertise because it's solving a problem for someone who doesn't have access to it. I hope you're tracking. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Richard, I'm not an expert. I'm just doing my job. Hold that thought. We are coming to that shortly. So what are the 7 skills? All right, so let's get into it. Here are the 7 skills the internet pays premium prices for. Skills you probably already have if you've spent any time in corporate, and I guess you've done that. So if you take something chaotic and make it systematic, you're sitting on gold. Every business owner I know is drowning in chaos. They know what they want to do, but they don't know how to do it efficiently. So if you've ever built a workflow, created SOPs, or streamlined a department, you have a skill worth thousands of dollars per client. This is real talk. Skill number 2 is strategic planning. You know how in corporate you sit in those quarterly planning meetings where you map out objectives, the KPIs, the resource allocation. 98% of small business owners have never done that. They are winging it. If you can help someone create a 90-day roadmap with clear milestones, that's like a $5,000 offer to $15,000 offer right there. Skill number 3, hiring and talent development. This one is big. Every growing business needs to hire, and they are bad at it. They don't know how to write job descriptions. They don't know how to interview. They definitely don't know how to onboard or develop people. So if you're in HR, you literally have the blueprint they're searching for on Google at 2 a.m. This is a huge skill. Number 4 is financial literacy and cash flow management. Financial literacy and cash flow management. Most entrepreneurs can make money. It's true because I'm one. But they can't manage money. If you understand budgeting, forecasting, financial modeling, expense control, you can consult for business owners and get more than what you make analyzing spreadsheets for your employer. Why? Because it's their money on the line. It's not yours. It's their money on the line. They're going to lose it if they don't get you. Skill number 5, stakeholder communication. This might sound soft, but this is platinum. So you know how to manage up, you know how to present to executives, you know how to navigate difficult conversations. Guess who needs that? Every entrepreneur trying to pitch investors, negotiate partnerships, or manage their board. Communication mastery is a premium skill online. Skill number 6, change management. If you've ever led a team through a reorganization, a merger, a new system implementation, you have experienced most business owners would pay to learn from. Scaling a business is a change management, and they don't teach this in how to start a business, YouTube videos. So skill number 7, compliance and risk mitigation. Compliance and risk mitigation. Now, this might seem boring, but hear me out. If you know how to keep a company compliant, whether that is HR compliance, finance regulations, data privacy, legal framework, their business is terrified at getting it wrong, and they'll pay you to make sure they don't. Now, here's what's wild. You might be using 3 of these skills in your current role right now, and you're getting paid a salary. I understand, but if you package just one of them into a consulting offer, you could make the same salary working with maybe 2 to 3 clients. And that brings me to the biggest mistake I see corporate professionals make every day. So the biggest mistake corporates make when they try to monetize their skill is this. They think they need to start a blog, build a YouTube channel, post on LinkedIn every day and listen, dance on TikTok. Yes, I know I am not undergrading content. Yes, content is great. I do content. You're watching content right now. But here's what I discovered. Content without an offer is just noise. You can post valuable insight for years and still not make $1. Why? Because people don't buy insights. They buy solutions to specific problems. And this is where my two-phase offer builder comes in. See, most people try to build a business by growing an audience fast, then figuring out what to sell. But that's backwards. What if you could create a high value offer first, then find 5 to 10 people who need it? This is what I call the small audience, a big offer strategy. And it's exactly how that HR manager I mentioned earlier made almost $80,000 in 3 months. She didn't have a podcast. She didn't have 10,000 LinkedIn followers. She had one clear offer, and she found a certain number of clients who needed it. That's it. What am I saying? Don't let "I need more followers" stop you from getting paid for what you already know. I hope you're all in with me in this. So, all right, let me walk you through the framework that has helped hundreds of corporate professionals monetize their skills without quitting their job. I call it the two-phase offer builder. And it's designed specifically for people who don't have time to create endless content, don't want to become an influencer. They just want to get paid for what they already know. And here's how this works. So phase 1 is what we call the clarity phase. This is where most people get stuck. They know they are good at their job, but they don't know how to translate that into a client-ready offer. So in phase 1, we answer 3 questions. Fundamental question. Question number 1, what's the specific problem I solve? Not that I do HR, that's too vague. Instead, I help tech startups reduce new hire turnover by 40% in the first 90 days. You see the difference? So question number 2, who is this problem most painful for? Not everybody. Someone specific who loses sleep over this problem. Who is that person? Who is that person? And then question number 3, what's the transformation I deliver? Not what you do, what they get. Not I will audit your hiring process. Instead, you'll go from losing 3 out of every 5 new hires to building a team that stays and grows with you. See, so what do they get? Once you have these 3 answers clear, you have an offer. Not a course, not a coaching program, an offer. Something someone can say yes to immediately. Now, this brings me to phase number 2, the validation phase. This is where you test the offer before you build anything. You don't need a website, you don't need a funnel, you don't need a logo. You just need 5 to 10 conversations with people who have the problem, or maybe 5 to 20 conversations. And here's the beautiful part. You already know these people. They are in your LinkedIn network. They are your former colleagues. They are in your industry groups. So you reach out. You offer a free strategy session. You show them the transformation. And then you make an offer. Based on what we've just discussed, I have a 90-day program that will solve the exact problem. It's next X amount of dollars. Are you interested? Some will say no, that's fine. But a few will say yes. And that's how you get your first client. Before you quit your job, before you build a course, before you become full-time full-time entrepreneur. So you validate with revenue. And so once you have 2 to 3 clients and you're making maybe $10,000 on the side, then you can decide if you want to scale it, build systems, create content, all of that. But you start with paid proof of the concept. Not free content. Not building in public, paid. Now I know you could be watching this and thinking, Arisha, that sounds great, I get it, but I'm not ready. Okay, let me tell you something. You're never going to feel ready. I wasn't when I left my job in 2015 to start my first coaching business. I wasn't ready when we launched NetDoc as a telemedicine company with my brother in 2020. I wasn't ready when I transitioned back into full-time coaching in 2024. But here's what I learned. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. And the real reason you haven't started isn't because you don't have the skills. It's because you're waiting for permission. That is the real reason. Permission from what? Permission from your industry. Or permission from yourself. But let me give you that permission right now. If you're waiting for, you are qualified. Your experience is valuable. Your knowledge is marketable. And the internet is waiting to pay you for it. The question is, are you going to let another year go by trading your time for a salary cap? Or are you going to take what you already know and then turn it into leverage? So here's what I want you to do. If you're serious about monetizing your corporate jobs, I have put together a live training. It walks you through the exact questions from phase 1 to phase 2 of my offer builder. It takes less than 90 minutes and you'll have a clear offer that you can start testing maybe the next week. No audience required, no content creation required, just clarity. So the link to this live training is in the description. I want you to go, register, and let us be able to get things moving. Because here's the truth. The internet doesn't pay for potential, it pays for problem solved. And you already have everything you need to start solving those problems today. So go do it. And when you land your first client using this framework, come back and then drop a comment. I want to hear your story. So right, that is it for this one. If you found this valuable, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will definitely see you in the next video. In the meantime, go turn your corporate skills into cash.